Hey there, Angela Mosley here. Welcome to your full body pushing workout. What you're gonna need for today's workout is you do need a wall. I also have a pillow for head support or knee support. I do have a yoga block for our side lying breathing just to hold in between my knees to support it. But then I'm also gonna use it for my squat today, but you can use a pillow instead. I do have one 25-pound dumbbell, which I'm gonna use for my squat and my lower body movements today. I also have a sliding disc because I am on a hard surface. If you're on a hard surface and you don't have a sliding disc, you can also use a coffee filter, you can use socks or a paper plate. If you're on carpet, you can use a paper plate. You can also use a towel for hard surface as well. And then I do have some 12s and 15s for a couple of my upper body exercises today. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started in that side lying position. So I'm going to use my pillow for head support. I'm going to place my feet on the wall, so I'm in a 90-degree angle, and I'm just going to place the yoga block in between my knees for support. I'm going to hover my abs up off the floor so that I'm compressing the lower end so that all of the breath has to go into my rib cage angle, into my ribs on the top, and then into our breath into the back. So you want to think, suction the tongue to the roof of your mouth, stay nice and long through your torso. You're not crushing anything. You want to not spill into an anterior tilt and not overly tuck under. Inhale through the nose, suction the tongue to the roof of your mouth. And as you inhale, I want you to think about the breath expanding into your rib cage, laterally and into the back, and then down into your pelvic bowl. And then as you exhale, you want to think about exhaling all the way up and out through the mouth. Now, if you're working on strengthening the pelvic floor, then you can squeeze the block with your exhale and lift from the bottom up, engage the pelvic floor. But if you need to work on relaxation, do not squeeze and just focus on a nice slow exhale. Continue with that. I like to go about 4 counts. Inhale, and then exhale, all of the breath come all the way out. So going at your own pace, whatever that might look like for you. Do one more on this side. And exhale all the way out. We're actually going to stay in this position, but I'm going to scoot myself away from the wall, and I'm going to use my yoga block for support. I'm going to press my knee into the yoga block. I'm going to reach over my top hand, and then I'm going to reach back. We're going to inhale here, and then exhale, open up. You can also use your elbows, so reach over and then reach back. So we really don't want to twist through our lower back. That's why I'm pressing my top knee into the floor or into the yoga block. And then open, open, open. Last one. Fantastic job. All right, go ahead, get yourself up. We're going to go into that other side. So same exact thing, just on the other side. Coming into that side lying breathing. So go ahead and join me now. Inhale. Again, nice and long through that torso, abs up off the mat. You can also use a rolled up towel underneath to support yourself. And exhale. So you want to think as we inhale, our breath is going into our rib cage and into the back. You can also place your hand on the back to make sure that your breath is going there. Sometimes it's just that body-mind connection awareness. Again, if you're working on strengthening, you could think about squeezing the block down as you exhale and lift from the bottom up. If you're working on lengthening, then you want to avoid doing that. Last one. Awesome job. We're going to go into that open book. So again, I'm going to place my arm there. I'm going to reach forward so that I'm almost rotating over that top shoulder and opening up. Except I'm hitting my wall, so I'm going to use my elbow and open, only going as far over as it feels good for you. Again, you want to think about pressing this top leg so that you're not rotating through the pelvis. Every time I lay down, it messes up my mic, so I apologize about that. Go ahead and rest. Awesome job. We're going to place this off to the side. We're going to come into on our bottom. So we're just gonna come into a pretzel. So I'm gonna press this top knee into the mat, and then I'm gonna rotate, press in. So I'm almost like pushing myself over. So as I press, I'm opening up through the hips here. If you need to, you can use your hands for support. Awesome job. We're gonna come into a hands and knees position. I'm gonna start off with a rock back position. So I'm gonna rock over my ankle, and then I'm gonna sit back. So rock over the ankle. You can place your hands on your knees, or you can simply place your hands on the mat, whatever works best for you. So inhale back, exhale. Awesome job. Go ahead, switch right into that other side. So you want to make sure that our heel stays down on the mat so that it will lead over into our squat today. So again, I like to inhale back, exhale, come forward. Only going as far as it feels good for you. Fantastic job. We're gonna come into a down dog. So inhale back and then exhale as you drive forward. Now, if you have a pillow or a yoga block, you can always place it in between your knees and add a squeeze. So inhale back, stretching through that upper back. Exhale, come down to the mat. So that would look like placing the yoga block in between my knees for some front pelvic floor activation as I exhale and squeeze. We're getting those lower abdominals, but we're also getting the front of the pelvic floor in this position here. So inhale. I find that most women have more tightness in the back and weakness in the front, which is causing the leaking. Awesome job. All right, come on down. We're gonna come to a standing and I'm gonna have you hold onto the wall. We're gonna come into an airplane. So the first option is staggering that foot. So you wanna think about a clamshell, but on your leg. So this leg is staying put. So I'm dropping the pelvis down over top of this glute, and then I'm pushing this foot away from the floor to open up. So I'm dropping down, nice, getting some length, and then I'm pushing the floor away to open up through like as if we were doing a clamshell, right? But on the floor, okay? Then when you're ready for it, you can come into a standing single leg version. So again, pressing the floor away to open up. So drop down, feel that length, and then press, press, press away. All right, go ahead right into that other side. So which you can also hold on to a chair. I'm just using the wall because that's what's here. So drop down, feel that lengthening, and then push the floor away. So you want to think about your pelvis rotating over your femur. Your femur is your leg, and you want to think about your pelvis rotating over it. So internal rotation and then external rotation. Again, pressing that foot into the floor to push the body or push the pelvis away. So really the movement is coming from the hips here. Very subtle. And rest. Awesome job. Okay, we're gonna go into our first exercise. I'm gonna use a 25-pound dumbbell. It's 30 seconds on the right, take a quick break, and then 30 seconds on the left, and then we take a longer break, and then repeat that 2 more times, all right? So I'm going to step back into a lunge, inhale back, exhale to side lunge. So we're creating pressure, inhale, exhale. With impact, you could do this body weight or with a dumbbell. Go ahead and join me now. So inhale back, exhale to extend, come over. Now you don't have to go that far deep. You can simply come here, inhale, exhale, and sit into it. So the main idea is that you're sitting into this hip, right? So as you come down, you're sitting into that hip, okay? Inhale down, exhale. So using our breath to support our pelvic floor when we experience sudden change in movement and impact with weight. Go ahead and rest. You have about 30 seconds, then we move into the other side. Whew, I'm out of breath just from talking. Okay, ready, set, step back, inhale, exhale, lunge. So again, inhale down, lengthening, exhale, creating pressure, letting that pressure leave the system with our breath, but also increasing that strength and the timing for our pelvic floor to respond. Okay, because life hands us lemons, yeah? Is that what they say? They hand us lemons with kids. We never know what's gonna come our way. So we have to be prepared. Go ahead and rest. You get 30 seconds here. I'm trying to fix my mic. You have to be prepared because you never know what's gonna hit you. You never know what's gonna come your way. And preparing our pelvic floor for that fast movement, like we're athletes. If you're working out, you're an athlete. Okay, so we need to think that way. Moving in different directions, bracing for impact, all the things. All right, grab your weights. We're gonna move again. In 3, we're there. Inhale down. Oh, I'm moving on the right side. I guess it doesn't matter because we're gonna do it each side. So step back. So inhale down, brace the core, lift that weight up. Inhale, you can use this other hand to support it. Keep that chin slightly tucked. Stay tall through that spine. Ribs stacked over those hips. As with anything, go ahead and rest. We have to do that other side. Whew. I'm out of breath because I'm talking. All right, ready? We're there. Step back, step out. Still focusing on that tripod foot, especially as you come up. Think about pressing into the floor. Come here. If you need to, I should have said this at the beginning, you could step in and then step out. Whereas I'm floating. I'm coming in, exhaling. You do you and what feels best. You got 5 seconds. Inhale, whoo, and rest. Awesome job. All right, I'm gonna grab myself a drink. All right, I'm gonna use a yoga block. You can use a pillow. You can go without, totally optional. We're gonna do a squat with a block squeeze. I'm gonna do goblet style. So I'm holding one dumbbell. I wanna make sure my toes and my knees are facing forward. Ribs stacked over those hips. I'm gonna inhale down and exhale to come up. So as I come down, I'm sitting into my hips. Okay, I'm squeezing the yoga block as I come down, and I'm pressing my feet into the floor, squeezing the yoga block as I come up with that exhale. Now, if you need pelvic floor strengthening, right before you come up, I want you to think about gathering the pelvic floor to lift yourself up as you exhale. All right, ready? We have 3, 2, 1. Tuck that chin back, inhale down, press the floor away, exhale, lift up that pelvic floor if you need to. Come up. If you're working on lengthening the pelvic floor, then you can think about inhaling or exhaling on the way down. So exhale down because you're naturally opening up the pelvic floor as you come down. And then you can think about inhaling on the way up because your pelvic floor naturally lifts on the way up. So if you have a lot of tightness, you could do a reverse breathing pattern to continue to support your tightness in your pelvic floor, okay? Knees shoot forward. So knees are forward. Again, tucking that chin slightly back, tucking that chin slightly back, tuck the chin back, coming tall through that spine, pressing the floor. The most important piece is thinking about squeezing the block and pressing into the floor to push the body away. Inhale and rest. Awesome job. All right, we have our launcher push-up. So I'm going to come down onto the mat. We're going to start in a child's pose position. So we're going to sit back, inhale, back, exhale, engage the core as you drive forward. So inhale back, reach, reach, reach. Exhale, drive forward. Go ahead and join me now. Very important that you inhale and then exhale. Brace that core as you come down and as you press up, okay? I also want you to think about your fingertips, pressing the fingertips into the mat to push the floor away. And then I also want you to come into more of an A shape. So if I was looking down at you, I'd see almost like a letter A rather than that goalpost position. Inhale down, Exhale. You moving at your own pace. Again, if you're working on strengthening the pelvic floor, you think about in this position, you're opening up, and then lift the pelvic floor, engage the core as you exhale, okay? With movement to brace yourself. Now, if you are more advanced, you can sit back and then come to your toes. So you can sit back, come to your toes. Go ahead and rest. Awesome job. All right, we just have to repeat that 2 more times. So same exact moves. You have your squat. We're done with those lunges. You've got your squat. So if you need a longer break, please take it. Otherwise, we're gonna continue to move. Ready, set, and we're there. So drive down, slow and controlled. We're not going for pace here. We're going to feel the movement, feel which muscles are working. Inhale down, exhale. Paying attention to what your body is telling you. You can move faster than me if you feel pretty good about your movement and your breath and activation. You don't have to go as deep as me. 10 seconds. Y'all, I am sweating. Whew. It is freezing cold outside. Last one. And rest. Awesome job. Fantastic job. All right, back to that push-up launcher. So you can also do, so again, we're sitting into that child's pose, launching forward. Okay, you can also come into a crouched position without going into that. Go ahead and join me now. A crouched position to a push-up would be another variation. So instead of doing a full child's pose, you can think about inhaling here, exhale to press. So you decide which level you want. Opening up through that pelvic floor, exhale, activating the pelvic floor. Whoo, inhale, inhale. Again, using your fingertips to push the floor away. Last one, last one. Ha! And rest. I did upper body yesterday, so it was a little challenging. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, oh, am I gonna be able to do this? All right, last round. Grab a drink, grab your block, grab your pillow, whatever it is you're using. Take a longer break if you need it. Set yourself up, and we're there. So again, I make these workouts short and effective because I know that we are busy time. And so if you're like, you know what, I really need to slow down, don't do as many reps, okay? If you want to continue to follow along, but you're just like, I need a longer break, then stop. So, you know, the timer is up in the corner. Pay attention to the timer. Maybe you stop 10 seconds early. Maybe stop 20 seconds early, wherever you're at. Don't be afraid to stop, to give yourself a longer rest. That's okay. You'll continue to progress. You'll continue to get stronger. Consistency is king. As long as you stay consistent and you keep going, that's really what matters. Go ahead and rest. But if you do this and you stop, just like any other muscle group, we stop working out, you lose muscle, right? So we train the pelvic floor in our workouts to continue to get it stronger. All right, back to those push-ups. Ready, set, right there. Inhale back, exhale, launch forward. So once you have a system and you know how to use your breath and strength training with your pelvic floor and you stay consistent with it, you'll see results, okay? It's a matter of retraining the brain. Tuck that chin back. I just caught myself, so that's why I had to say something. Ha! Yo, this is hard. Whoo! We only got 15 seconds to go. No joke. I used to never wear colored pants because I'd always pee. And how embarrassing is that to pee? Go ahead and rest. Awesome job. I could never wear colored pants. I would pee. How embarrassing. Always wear black. I could never be festive or creative with my attire. Not that I am now, but I'm just saying, I could never wear them. Okay, we're gonna come into that curtsy slider lunge. So grab your thingy. I'm gonna start with my left leg in the ground, and I'm gonna hold my weight. I'm gonna press my foot into the ground. I'm gonna lunge into that curtsy, opening up, and then press the floor to come up. Go ahead and join me now. So inhale down. I'm holding the weight here. Well, I'm not really right now, just giving you a visual. You can go body weight for this, and then press the floor to bring yourself up. So the back leg is light as feather, okay? So inhale down. Exhale to come up. We're still stacked, ribs stacked over those hips. And come up. So very important for that foot placement. That's where you're gonna get the activation from those glutes, is paying attention to your feet, okay? What are your feet doing? Ooh, I'm feeling this even without a weight, because I'm really focusing. All right, go ahead, right into that other side. So just switch it. So same thing, press into the foot. So you can do this without the sliding disc. Just do a regular curtsy lunge, only going to the depth that feels good for you. Next time I am going to use my dumbbell. I'm just pretending like I have a dumbbell because it makes me feel cool, I guess. 5 seconds. Let's do one more and rest. Awesome job. Okay, we have that half kneeling overhead press. So I'm gonna start with my 12s. We'll go there. All right. We're gonna do 30 seconds on each side. So come into a half kneeling, arm that is the knee on the ground. You're gonna inhale down, exhale to press up. I'm gonna place my opposite hand on my rib cage to make sure that my ribs are not flaring as I press up. This front leg, I wanna think about dragging back to help position my pelvis so that I'm not, especially if you're someone like me who loves an anterior pelvic tilt, then this will help turn those hamstrings on to pull the pelvis under, okay? If you need to, you can place a pillow underneath that knee. So inhale down, exhale to press up. Chin is tucked, you're tall through that spine. Go ahead and switch. For me, I did this move yesterday, but with 20 pounds. So my body's like, whew, what are we doing? Go ahead, press up, inhale down. So you're dropping it down. Again, you can take that opposite hand, place it on your rib cage. So inhale as you come down. Exhale. Stay tall through that spine. And rest. Awesome job. Okay, so next time we do that, you can use the wall to add in some tension. So this is totally option. You can press into the wall, inhale here, exhale as you press into the wall. So I'm gonna do that next round. We're gonna go back to that curtsy lunge. I just wanted to show you so you had an option. Ready, set, go. So drive down and then come up. I showed it in the overview, but just in case you didn't watch it. So inhale. Again, this back leg is just floating. Whew. Feeling those glutes. I hope you are too. 10 seconds. Ah. We're gonna go right into the other side, right into the other side. We only do this 2 times, guys. 2 times for the sake of time. Can also do your overhead press. I was just thinking about it in a seated position if you feel more supported. It's another option. Whew. Five seconds. Oh, go ahead and rest. Oh my goodness. I'm like dripping with sweat. That's what happens when you train and you lift heavier weights. Okay, I am going to use the wall. So what I was saying is you can use the wall for support, but also to activate the core a little bit more, okay? So inhale here, exhale to press into the wall as you press. Staying tall through that spine. I'm going to scoot myself just a little bit closer. Just another tool that you can use. Awesome job. Go ahead and switch. So again, if I was doing this on my own, I'm using a 12. I would use a, oh, go ahead and move 20 pounds. That's where I'm at right now. Not double arm. Still single arm, 20 pounds. If I was doing double arm, I would go with 15s. So inhale and then exhale. So as I'm here, I'm pressing the wall and I'm thinking about getting my breath back here. And then exhaling, go ahead and rest. Fantastic job. Well, we are more than halfway with our workout. We're gonna go into a dead bug. So there's a lot of different variations for this exercise, okay? So make sure you watch the overview video for some ideas and some options, and that way you are set up for success. So you're gonna come down onto the mat and you're gonna make sure that you're pulling your hip bones towards one another with your core. So I want you to think about your core and your pelvic floor working together to stabilize your pelvis and your spine so your pelvis doesn't rock and shift. Check out the overview video for ideas on different props and things like that. I'm gonna reach my arms up. I'm gonna drive one leg out and one arm and then come back in. Same thing, we are moving, drive out and bring it in. All right, level 1 is gonna be a knee drive and drive. And then level 2 is gonna be toe tap. Level 3, toe tap with an arm reach, toe tap with arm reach. And then level 4, drive out. Very important. Everybody always asks me about my breathing. Obviously, I'm talking through this. You wanna make sure your core is braced. So I like to inhale back, but many people don't find that good for their bodies. So you can exhale as you drive out and exhale as you drive in, and inhale here and then drive out and drive in. Go ahead and rest. We're gonna come on to the wall for a glute med wall sit. So I'm gonna place this top leg on against the wall. It's gonna hover against the wall, and then this other leg is gonna come here, okay? So again, that nice tripod foot, ribs stacked over those hips. I'm gonna gently sit down, and then I'm gonna press the floor away to come up. I'm gonna work this outside leg. You might feel a little bit on the inside leg, but not much. All right, so go ahead and join me now. So I'm gonna drop down, inhale, opening up the pelvis, opening up that space, and then exhale to push the floor away. So inhale down, exhale, press. So again, this leg is hovering up off the ground, all right? If you're like, you know what, this is cake, this is easy, and you wanna add weight to it, be my guest, add some weight, but this is a fiery move to begin with. One more, and rest. We're gonna go right into that other side, so give yourself some 10 seconds, shake it off, and you can also hold on to something in front of you as well. All right, we are there, so drive down, and then push up. Inhale down, whoo, push away. You might find that one side is a bit more challenging than the other side, and that's okay. feeling it. And rest. Awesome job. Shake it off, shake it off. All right, we're gonna come back into that dead bug position. So you're gonna come on down. So again, you can choose whichever level or variation works best for you. Go ahead and join me now. So again, if you want to think about exhaling as you drive out and exhaling as you drive in, and then inhale here. Reach. And rest. Awesome job. Go ahead, roll to the side to come up. We're gonna go back to that glute med wall sit. So again, you're gonna place the foot on the wall, nice tripod foot. You're gonna have ribs stacked over those hips, and we're gonna drive down and then push the floor away to come up. Inhale, exhale, push. Ooh, balance. 10 more seconds. And rest. Awesome job. Shake it off, shake it off. Ready to go into that other side. Get yourself set up. Ready? And we're there. So drive down and then push away. See, this side is not as stable. So my left side is my weak side. So I find that a lot of the times I'll catch myself and be like, oh, I got to hold onto the wall because I get off balance, especially because this leg is hovering up above. So it's very subtle, but it is very powerful. And rest. Awesome job. Shake it off, shake it off. Fantastic job. All right, let's go ahead and cool it off. Grab yourself a quick drink. We're going to do a quick cool down. We're going to come into a pigeon. So if you want, you can use your pillow for support. I'm going to come down, and you can either hold up high or you can hold down low. You decide what feels good for you. You can think about inhaling into that hip area, especially after those glute med wall sits that we just did. Whew, that should feel really, really good. Awesome job. Let's go ahead and switch. The cool down is going to be super short and sweet. So if you want to continue to hold a pose because it feels good, please do so. We're going to do a breathing exercise after this move, and then we'll move on with our day. Do not skip this part. We definitely need to let that pelvic floor go. We need to let it relax, especially with our breathing. So inhale, focus on the breath. Inhale, expanding into any stickier areas. So if you have a sticky spot, a tight, tense spot, or what do you think about getting your breath there? All right, go ahead, push yourself away. I'm going to use the pillow and roll it up underneath my abdomen. And then I am going to use my yoga block. It's not required, just a tool that I like to use. I'm going to place my forehead on the yoga block. I'm going to reach with my palms up, and I'm going to think about inhaling into my sides and down. So inhale through the nose, imagining the breath expanding into all the areas. Sometimes, if it feels good for you, you can pause your inhale. So holding that pressure in the system to really lengthen the muscles is something that I personally love. It may not be good for you, but continue with whatever breath style. Most important is that you think about expanding the breath into all the spaces. Thinking about that diaphragm moving down as you inhale, the ribs moving out to the front, to the side, and to the back. Give me one more good inhale. And exhale. Fantastic job. Awesome job. Like I said, if you wanted to go back to holding a certain pose, or if you needed a better not a better cool down, but a longer cool down, then please do so, or you can continue to stay in that child's pose for a couple more breaths, and I'll see you in the next workout.